So, if my sheriff will go out there, his department, and tell everybody that I am crazy. And I understand that. But the other day I was out and about, and there is this woman who just goes out of her way every time she sees me to start talking about me. The minute she sees me to anybody who's standing around. And I got I felt somewhat defensive. I finally started thinking about this whole situation. And it's funny that I got defensive because this woman calls herself Skank. And that's Shag. Shag. I always go back to it because kind of woman calls herself Shag. Anyway, um, I started thinking about it, and I know that there are people who want to say that I want to believe that I am crazy. But I cannot be the first or the only person who has seen that report for that gas station in Erling, Iowa when it exploded. I cannot be the only person who has seen that report that says that there was only one explosion and they don't know what caused it. And Neil Gross, the sheriff, is the one who sent me that report. And then when I told him, wait a minute, there were two, what are you talking about? He was just like, I don't write the report. I'm the sheriff. I have nothing to do with it. We live in a tiny town. Their offices are 2 blocks away, maybe three, right down the street from each other. And they don't run in the same circles. Neil Gross couldn't say, wait a minute, there were two explosions. It's not like there isn't a video of the second explosion. And it's not like Neil, Sheriff Gross, was interviewed by KETV the same as I was the very day it happened. In fact, if you go to the website, you'll see the quote, it was like a war zone. That's my quote. You know, I said that. I cannot be the only person who has seen that report. And yet, no one has said a word. Not a word. And it's just so blatant. Neil knew about the threats I was getting because from moving from Washington to Iowa, they followed me. In fact, when I got to Erling, they laughed because they said they were already set up there before I even got there. They were sending me emails telling me things would happen and then they would. And so, and I was sending all of this shit to Neil because I thought it was small town Iowa and Neil seemed like a great guy. I actually went into his office and he recorded me for an hour and a half in his office before I ever got Yamada in my living room. And that was just all a fluke anyway. But I went in, I really did think that Neil was helping. But he wasn't helping. And he never has helped. He's helped the bad guys. And so he knew about the threats about that gas station explosion. And furthermore, I don't think that it is a coincidence that the deputy that they were using to come against me, Donovan, unalived himself a week and a half before that gas station explosion. I don't find it to be a coincidence considering everything. And Neil, it wasn't even me who saw the people across the street from the gas station that Saturday. And Neil did nothing. And now it says that there's one explosion when there was two. People have to know about it, and no one has said a word. You know? Why am I the first? That's what I want to know. And since that gas station explosion, it has been a nightmare. Coming to this house where I live now, There's a reason why I have a 9-foot fence, and that doesn't stop them. You know, it. They want to quiet me. Two men who are known criminals, who have a rap sheet, show up in my town, send me pictures of my house, freshly painted, just the fall before, and other places in town, because I know they were in town. The other one posts a video on YouTube that has a stamp, a location stamp of being in my town. They're dancing around, and my best friend drops over, perished. And Neil knew all about this in real time. And yet he's busy telling people that I am crazy. And why would they show up at my house? Because I believe that they are in a group that is much like the group that the FBI busted last September in New York. It was a global, satanic, Nazi CA ring. That's what it was. And this is the same situation. All of the people that I'm battling with right now are all connected to Isaac Kappy. And they're all criminals. You know, the people that I'm saying are attacking me in town are criminals. And Neil, the whole thing about it is chances are they found out about Neil's drug operation before they came into town. That's why they have him by the balls, you know? And it's funny about that gas station explosion, all the damage that it created, all the chaos that ensued. Do you know who wasn't even touched by it? Who wasn't affected by it in any way, other than it made me jump. The second explosion made me jump because I was right by my window toweling myself off, and I saw it. Me. I wasn't affected by it at all. Funny how it works that way. And they want to shut me up because they don't want me exposing this CA ring, which I have been after for a long time. I've written a book that was nominated for Book of the year that I published it. And it's the same thing. And people can say whatever they want. But as far as that gas station explosion, the fact that I am the first, and I think really the only person who has stood up and said, wait a minute, there's two explosions, not one. Why the discrepancy? The fact that I'm the only one doesn't bode well in the respect department for me and everyone else. So people who call themselves weird names and the other people in town who are talking, who, you know, I'm bad because I'm going against the established authority. But there are problems here. You know, there are problems here that need to be addressed. And I'm sorry if this makes people emotionally uncomfortable, but they need to be addressed. And I don't find it crazy at all. I just think that it is a complete campaign to shut me up. And I've said it repeatedly. It's never gonna fucking happen. So, with that said, why am I the only one who is speaking out about that gas station explosion report? One explosion and it just happened. Voldemort waved his magic wand, did he? You know? Funny how that works for a lot of shit. Doesn't make an ounce of sense. But, whatever.